This right here is my story map. It's called Everyday Kentucky Life You Don't Think Twice About, but Probably Should. Basically, what it is, I stayed around Bowling Green in Warren County area and took pictures of just some common everyday things that you might see. You probably pass them all the time and never give them a thought. But this is here to tell you why you should, because a lot of these are very important species. So first, right here, we've got the brown recluse. I actually found this at my house and it scared me. It just crawled out from nowhere and I saw it. But it's not as dangerous as a lot of people make it out to be. Nobody's ever died from one. They avoid human contact as much as possible, but it scared me. So I hope I don't run into another one. Two is paper wasp. It's actually a family of wasps that includes two different types that we have here in the United States. And this one I couldn't get positively identified as either, but a lot of people are very allergic to these, so also stay away from those. Third is the Amur honeysuckle. I see these all the time. I've always seen these all the time and had no clue they were invasive. They're originally from Asia, and it's actually gotten endangered in Japan, but they're doing completely fine here. But they're kind of destroying our forest ecosystems because they're overrunning everything, and they don't really have any natural predators here. Four is the sugar maple. This is an interesting tree. I've seen them a lot too, and one interesting thing about them is they're used in making baseball bats. Maple bats are actually made from sugar maple wood, which is one of the choice bats for NBA and MLB. In the MLB, they use either ash, maple, or birch bats, depending on the preference. And also, it's the most popular tree for maple syrup production. Five is the white-tailed deer. Um, it's the most common deer in the eastern United States, and it's actually near threatened level, so we really need to look out for these. Sixth is the northern cardinal. It's the state bird of Kentucky. And one time it was a pet, but that's been illegal for about 100 years. Seven is the eastern carpenter bee. It's a common bee. It's very good for pollination, but the males of this kind, I didn't know, actually cannot sting you. It's only the females. Eight is the western honeybee, and I actually took this picture right outside of my house here, and there are about probably 1,000 bees there, and I've looked it up, and they apparently when it gets to a cold snap, it'll just their hive, they'll leave it, and they'll scout out for another place to put their hive, and that's what these were doing. And they were only here for about 5 days, and then I got up one morning and they're just all gone. Nine is the house centipede, which might look scary, but it's not gonna hurt you. They're originally from the Mediterranean, and the only thing they can do is bite you, which is really rare. It won't hurt you too bad, but they do kill a lot of nasty insects in your house for you, so you might want to thank them. 10 is the lesser periwinkle. It's originally from southern Europe. It's used in quite a few medicines. 11 is the American robin. It's one of the most common birds in North America, and it's the state bird of Connecticut, Michigan, and Wisconsin. 12 is the Asian lady beetle. It looks really cute, but it's actually kind of dangerous. It can bite you. I had no clue about that, and it produces a toxin that smells really, really bad when you kill them. And houses are known to get completely overrun with these in some parts of the United States, which I had no clue about. 13 is the common five-line skink. It's probably the most common lizard in North America, and they have the unique ability that they can detach and regrow their tails to avoid being captured by predators by their tail. 14 is the eastern gray squirrel, which everybody loves here at WKU, especially the white ones, because how frequently we see them. But they're actually pretty bad for the environment in Europe. Here they're fine, but in Europe they're overrunning their forests and kind of outcompeting the red squirrel, which is native to Europe. 15 is the eastern cottontail. It's the most popular or most prominent rabbit breed here in the southeast, and they're incredibly fast. They can run about as fast as Usain Bolt, which is crazy with those small legs. 16 is English ivy, and this is an invasive plant that grows on trees here, and it's extremely, extremely invasive. And turns out when I was on iNaturalist, it said that my picture is the first one confirmed in Warren County, so I guess that's not good. 17 is the winter creeper. It's about like English ivy, except it's from China originally, and these also grow on evergreens and are extremely invasive. But the bad thing about these is they can live in extremely cold conditions, hence the name winter creepers. They're very hard to get rid of. 18 is the ribwort plantain. It's an invasive weed that's taken over here and in Australia, and it's used as a traditional medicine for insect bites. 19 is the American toad, which is a popular pet, but the only the females make good pets. The males you should never take into captivity because they don't adapt to terrariums very well due to being territorial. 20 is the eastern red cedar, which is kind of an odd tree. It's very popular in using and making cedar chests, but a lot of people are very allergic to its pollen. So I've never understood why it's so popular, but it is. 21 is the northern mockingbird. It's the only mockingbird native to the United States, and it's incredibly intelligent. Apparently has the ability to even remember human faces that it's found threatening. 22 is the dryad saddle. It gets its name from Greek mythology because it looks like a dryad can sit right up here on it, and it's an edible mushroom, but you should only eat the smaller ones. The bigger ones often get maggots or mites and any types of parasites that can be bad for you. 23 is the American goldfinch, and I found this one to be very interesting because apparently it's actually done better since there's been deforestation and humans moving in because it gets so much food from bird feeders, and it's a meadow nesting bird, so deforestation just means more places for it to stay. 24 is turkey tail, and it's a fungus that's found all around the world, and it's very interestingly being used in cancer research to go along with chemotherapy. 25 is the common snapping turtle, and this picture doesn't do it justice. This thing was huge. They're very dangerous. Never try and touch one. Never mess with one, and they won't mess with you. They like to avoid confrontation with humans. 26 is the common blue violet. It's edible. I had no clue about that. It's the state bird of Illinois with state flower of Illinois, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. 27 is the common star of Bethlehem. While it's called common, it's actually more common in Africa than here, and it's being used in alternative medicine some, even though it's toxic, so I wouldn't recommend ever using it. 28 is the common hackberry, which is a common tree around here, usually used in landscaping. Its wood's not very good for furniture or anything, but it's got these very definitive warts on it, which make it a very unique type of tree. And 29 is the European starling, which is one of the most destructive invasive species we have. It does kill off some pests around here, small bugs and stuff, but it's so destructive to agriculture that because it eats fruits and things, and it does about $800 million a year in damage. And then 30 is the musk thistle. It's let me scroll up here. It's an invasive species originally found in Eurasia, but it's gotten here and it's all over, and they'll grow over and ruin your garden or yard if you don't get rid of them quickly. So that's all. Sorry I had to combine the musk thistle and the citation page together here. I can only have 30 tabs per story map, but here are my citations here. And that's all. Thank you.